Sure, let's talk about the time that the United States Supreme Court declared that segregation was constitutional. I'm Andre, and this is Blackie Black History Part Something. Now, in order to understand this case, we have to go back to the Reconstruction era. Now, the Reconstruction era in the United States was presided from 1865 to 1877. Presiding presidents were Andrew Johnson, Ulysses S. Grant, and this potato of a man, Rutherford B. Hayes. He was elected in 1876, and his election results had a little bit of fishy business. Southern Democrats said, "No sir, stop the count." They were the original stop the count. Donald Trump took their swag. And basically, this is how the Compromise of 1877 happened. Democrats and Republicans came together and said, hey, we'll keep Rutherford president as long as the troops are pulled out of the South and end their reconstructive duties. So Reconstruction effectively ended in 1877, and the Southern Democrats and Southern whites who said, hey, we're not going to do anything right. We're not going to be racist. We're good. We learned our lesson in 64. We learned our lesson. They lied. This is where we saw further implementation of black codes, Jim Crow, segregation, all that good stuff went into X Games mode in 1877 and further on. In 1890, the state of Louisiana passed a separate car act, which basically said, hey, blacks over there, whites over there. And a group of black Creole and white Creole citizens of New Orleans, Louisiana formed the Committee of Citizens to protest and go against and fight this law. It persuaded my good man Homer Plessy up right over here to sit on a whites-only train car in a form of protest. On June 7, 1892, he bought a ticket, sat on a white train car, refused when they told him to get up, and he was kicked off and arrested. Homer and his peoples took it to trial. They were denied on the local level, denied on the state level, and it went to the United States Supreme Court. And Homer and his peoples had a really good argument. They argued that Homer's 13th and 14th Amendment rights were violated. Pause to read the 14th Amendment right above me. All in all, the Supreme Court ruled 7-1 against Homer Plessy. You can pause to read this, but the justices basically said that blacks having to sit in a different car does not make them inferior. They just have to sit in a different car because of it's a social thing. Huh? At the end of the day, the Plessy v. Ferguson decision is one of the worst Supreme Court decisions of all time. Not only was it just wrong, but it set a racial precedent for the next 70 years for black people to be segregated blatantly in the United States of America. Made it okay in the North and the South for you to see blatant racial discrimination in public, black-only restrooms, train cars, water fountains, etc., etc. Shout out Homer Plessy, man.